Avengers 4, it's going to include more Jim Starlin creations, and also the synopsis got released, which has many people talking. So, first up, let's talk about the Jim characters. Who you guys think?
Well, there's only like what 39, 36.
Oh, so
30,
we narrowed this down.
you can really narrow it down. Half of them have no place in this movie at all. A third of them we've already had, like Drax, Gamora, Thanos. And the rest are either the cosmic entities or they're Eternals, like his father and Eros, Star Fox, and all that.
Right.
Or Lady Death, but they've said she's not in Avengers 4, so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the way they've done it and what the synopsis said, where what was it? They're going to realize how fragile reality is, in quotes. Like, you're not going to say that if you're not going to bring in, say, like, maybe not Eternity, because that was Ditko who made him, but like Living Tribunal, Order and Chaos. Like, people like that. They could still bring death, they could just be throwing people off, but.
Yeah.
No. That's about with everyone, like half the population of the universe. You've got them time traveling back to everything and screwing everything up. It would make sense to bring in people like that and like the Living Tribunal to be like, no, stop it. Like, you are pissing about too much. You need to stop, or everything's just going to
go. Yeah. That's, and like just looking at this, I'm like, because they mention it, it's being teased, something's going to happen, but the other part of me thinks it's like, could it be a more minor character, or maybe it's something that's not even that important to like the entirety of the MCU? Like, I can entirely feel that this could just be a smaller character that's like, oh, you're just here because you're getting credit, like that's it.
If the smaller character, he did make Pip the Troll.
Oh, oh, I see what you did there.
He made Tarakia, who was that female version of Thanos made because he was bored and lonely.
Ah.
I doubt they're going to do that. To be honest, I can see it being the Eternals, like Eros and the Lars.
Oh, man.
You know that Eternals movie is going to happen, so why not set it up now when you got a deviant running around?
True. Like, that would honestly be pretty cool if that's how they kind of kick off the Eternals, by introducing something like that. Like, that would honestly, I think, make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like, here's the strangest property we're probably going to make. Let's just introduce it in the biggest movie we're ever going to have. Why would you not do that? And plus, it gives more context to Thanos and all his background and stuff. So,
I mean, it could also they could also like what Miss said with the Tribunal, where they were saying stop mucking about with the multiverse, because you guys are going to be starting to cause incursions against other universes.
Oh, yeah.
Whole thing is like, oh no, Thanos is now he's part of the cosmic order of things because of the glove, so can't die anymore.
Yeah, we need a quote unquote a god of destruction.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things when you look at the synopsis, right? And they're talking about the epic journey, the turning point, the fragile reality, the sacrifices that have to be made to uphold reality. Like, this is the most like packed one of these synopsises that they've ever released for any movie. And if you go back and compare to some of the other synopsises, just compare what they're telling you, and then you look at the movie after. They literally pretty much tell you most of the movie in the synopsis, and you're like, you kind of have to just start looking at it going, so which direction do you exactly take this in? Because I think there's a lot of people now expecting a lot of the unexpected, and I think that's what they're going to deliver to us. But it's one of these movies where the way they're teasing it and the way they say nobody's guessed what it is or it's not going anywhere, I'm just like, I really don't know what to expect for the first time in a long time. Like Infinity War, we could all kind of figure out, and we were all even talking about, like, it's probably just going to end with Thanos snapping his finger. And sure enough, that's how it goes. So
that was kind of, unfortunately, one of the most obvious, but also an unobvious ending.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's going to happen. It's like, oh shit, it did happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, the only other thing about the finger snap was they thought Thanos would be towering over everyone, smiling, but instead he ran away.
He still smiled on everyone at the end.
He's today was a good day.
It literally was virtually a day as well. Just, I'm going to turn up, fuck you up. Someone in the chat said, what if they make Thanos death? If she's not around, why not make
Then
Hey,
because it'd be kind of weird of Thanos falling in love with himself, or
you're also not going to have the whole falling in love.
Oh my god.
he's just narcissistic, just looking at himself in bunches of mirrors the whole entire time.
He just stares in the infinity well like,
Turns out Thanos has just become Buffalo Thanos. He's going to do the dance and all.
It's just emotion at that point, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, like, and that's another thing I want to talk about. So Thanos is clearly coming back in Avengers 4. That much is clear. But with how much they're doing with this whole time manipulation, by the look of it, going back to other events, are we going to have in this movie like a scene where it's bouncing back between 2 to 3 different time periods and they're all fighting Thanos at a different point in his life? Like, that's kind of cool too. Like, that would be honestly pretty unique, right? Like,
I mean, with time travel and what they're clearly planning, anything can happen at this point.
mm-hmm.
Like, just say anything, you're probably right. Maybe apart from Thanos loving himself as death, that may not be right.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't know if they, like, where Infinity War was his movie in his introduction. I don't know if they now play it where Avengers 4 is an Avengers movie. And they do it that way.
I think that's how they're going to do it, because this is the farewell to the old school, like, you know, the ones that have been there for a while. So I think that's how they're going to play it up. It's like, no, that was the Thanos movie. This is now the Avengers. This is going to be the one where Cap finally says Avengers Assemble after a decade of waiting. This is going to be the one. Like,
I'll bet 5 hypothetical internet monies that he doesn't.
oh God, they can't not do it. They can't.
He's going to literally do Age of Ultron, but he's going to die, as he said.
Oh God.
They just blue ball everyone for eternity. Eternity is not an intentional pun, but I'll take it.
They're just gonna get a voice actor that like doubles down because Joss Whedon wouldn't record those lines. It's like, Avengers Assemble.
They just get Scarlett Johansson to say it. It's like, well, she said it in the outtakes. Just use that.
Oh man. Oh, it's interesting. Avengers 4, there's a lot of hype behind it. There's a lot of stuff I want to see in it, but there's going to be quite a long time we have to wait to get anything, because we know they're skipping San Diego Comic-Con, which, being real with you guys, Marvel Studios is bigger than Comic-Con now. They're like Rockstar at E3. You don't have to go because you know who they are. And they could drop a picture, like, Thursday morning at 4 a.m., and everybody's going to be talking about it, because that's Marvel Studios now. Like, they're bigger than going to trade shows and things like that. So, it's going to be
Avengers,
a while.
like Sandy, it's the WB pound's about to start, and they just go, "Oh, by the way, Avengers 4 is called this."
Oh my God.
It's just like, all right, cancel Comic Con.
Yeah, they could literally just drop the image on Twitter, and it would be the most tweeted thing for the next 3 days. So that's really how it goes. So yeah, we'll get back to, I guess, talking more about this in the future, unless there's something more anybody wants to add.
I was gonna say, when do you think they're gonna drop the title? Or do you think they can realistically hold it off until a trailer?
So, trailer, I realistically think they're holding off till like November, December.
That's so long.
Yep.
So far away. It's
And
not actually far away.
I think the title, and this is just me thinking, I haven't talked to anybody, I don't know anything, none of my dudes have said anything because they don't even know. I realistically think the title comes out right around the time that the Blu-ray DVD combo, digital comes out to hype up the next chapter.
Oh, so August.
Just about maybe late August. I think that's the perfect time to drop it.
That'd be interesting.
Because
I mean, that would get people to buy the thing. Like, oh, find out what the title is by buying this. Because I think people are going to buy it anyway.
It's not just that. I think like they're going to pack in something like behind. You know how they do the behind the scenes thing? I think they're going to have like one of those 5-minute snippets in the Blu-ray release, right? That's like behind the scenes of these two movies. And there'll be like 1-minute section of Avengers 4 behind the scenes footage, like the green screen behind them, like they used to do in the older movies. And then at the end, they'll be like, oh, and here's the next chapter, Avengers, whatever. So I think it's going to be something like that. something that's included in there, you know, because it's a marketing strategy that makes sense. And also, doesn't Disney have a trade show right at the end of summer? I think there is something that they're doing. I can't remember, but I know there's something like some earnings or some bigger thing that's happening that I was told about. So it wouldn't surprise me if at that thing that's when they announce it, and that's kind of coincides with the release and everything. That's just my idea. I don't know anything, but it would make sense to me. So
Yeah. Now another question: what do you think is going to be called? Because they've said Avengers Forever is the closest guess. Whether they're actually kind of trying to throw people off and be like, "Oh yeah, it's the closest one because it is."
Avengers United. I don't know. I really don't know. Like it's the one title I can't think of. Like there's too much. Like there's too much it could be, really.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Disassembled or Secret Avenger.
No.
Those two are off the cards completely.
Yeah, I did a quick search. Nothing has come up if Disney's going to any of the ones that are scheduled currently, because the only thing that's coming up right now is D23, and that's scheduled for next year in Anaheim.
Yep, that one I know about. It was just something I was told. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or whatever, but it is what it is. I'm assuming it's coming at the end of the summer. But yeah, dude, I have no idea what they could call the title. Like, I have no idea about the title. Like,
because my thing is, like, surely you'd want to call it Infinity something. Like, keep that brand going.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure people know it's the end part of that Infinity War. So, like,
And it could be like the Infinity Crusade.
see, that's been my thinking for like the last couple of weeks, especially if they're going through time to get Infinity Stones. Like, surely Infinity Crusade is a perfect title for that, but doesn't really match up with them saying Forever is the closest title, but that could be another curveball they're throwing at everyone. So literally, stab.
Yeah. So I don't know what they could come up with other than like some of the other titles that they've had before.
Well, do you think they actually follow something from the comics? Because I've seen people say that they're probably not going to use a comic title, which that's okay with me, because there's always that notion that if they use a comic title, people automatically go, it's not like the comic, so I don't like it. I'm like, oh god, you're so dumb. Like, if Age of Ultron would have been the comic, it would have been the trashiest movie ever seen. Like, it would have made freaking Batman v Superman look like Shakespeare. So, you know.
Comic made no sense anyway.
Yeah.
Why would you want?
Roseby said have the title be Infinity Fat Stacks.
Yeah.